100,000 views from my ideal audience. 3 of these this week are also quick, just 30 to 60 seconds. Very beginner friendly because all you're going to do is vent about something you're passionate for that you wish more people knew. This is like a FaceTime where you're getting something off your chest, reflecting on your life, or telling some sort of a story. Bonus points if you go for a walk or pull over in your car. It seems to help this type of content. Now be forewarned, the hook or beginning of your video can be the difference of a huge success and a flop. So I want to give you this really quick tip that I call the 3-part hook. You'll do this at the beginning of any video where you're speaking like me. What you'll want to do is have a spoken hook, a text hook, and then an activity hook. Basically, you'll say something, put different text on screen, and then have some sort of movement. Whatever you say should be more human, conversational, like a FaceTime, whereas the text that you put on screen should be really clear and sum up your video. You'd add in some sort of activity, whether it's holding a nice coffee, going for a walk, but also something that makes you feel natural, not awkward. All of the hooks you saw today are from my 400 hooks library. Creators have even made $22,000 in their business from the hooks and made 100K jumps in followers. If you don't have a place to plan and grow your TikTok content, this is called my creator bundle. It's where I plan all my content, and I think about 9,000 people use it now. I also just added these 8 content scripts to the bundle as well. I love seeing everyone's growth each week, so definitely comment your followers so we can support each other and keep ourselves accountable.
In the last couple years or so, my educational content on here has managed to make around $1 million. So I thought I would share the things that I would do and also the things that I would avoid if I were you, someone who's trying to make this full time in 2026. Number 1, you're allowed to pivot and change, and you should pivot and change. I started my first account on here talking about gaming, and then it was cooking, and then it was mindset, and now we're here with marketing and business. There's no such thing as a bad idea. You should be testing everything and try to find the perfect blend between what your audience wants from you and what you actually are creatively fulfilled by. Number 2, everything is content. There's no such thing as creating content. We get this idea that we need to create content. We need to buy a ring light, get a tripod, buy someone's course, but that's not true. Your life is your content. There's no such thing as creating content. Doing your weekly budgeting routine, that's content. Walking your dog, that's content. Your 2 a.m. thoughts, that's content. If you make a video every single time you open this app, you'll be ahead of 99% of people here. 3, when all else fails, change your hook. One simple change to the hook of your video can be the difference between 600 views and 500,000, 1,000 views and 10,000, and your hook is what you do, say, and type right at the beginning of your video. You guys have seen it. I got lazy and literally made a generator for this, but you don't need to do all that. Just make it a point to do 3 separate hooks. You say one thing that's a little more human, natural, conversational like I am now. You type text that's a little bit more optimized and clear, think for the algorithm, and then you do an activity, whether that's holding a notebook, a coffee, walking. That's the trifecta, so to speak, and you want whatever you're saying to be completely different than the text you type. I'll literally just generate a hook to boost my views, grow my following, make a sale, elevate my brand, and then do the same thing over again when I'm editing my video and type something out. And 4th, potentially the most important of all, be specific. Like painfully super specific about who you are and what your content's here to do, who you're here to reach. The easiest way to do this is just to mention your age or your intended audience's age right in the beginning of your video. Actually just type it out in the hook like we just talked about. So instead of 3 manifestation tips, it's what I wish I knew about manifesting my dream life in my 20s that I now know at 40. Or financial milestones to hit before you're 30 years old. Let me know if you want a part 2 on this.
I'm going to walk you through something that the 99% of creators don't do, that in my experience is the closest way to guarantee that your video is going to do well. I'm going to walk you through it right now, so you might want to grab a pen and paper. Stay with me, but it's simpler than it seems. Up here we have your idea. And let's say this idea is 3 things I wish I knew in my 20s. So instead of just posting one video from this idea, we're going to draw 4 lines from there, and then 4 more circles from each line. This would be video 1, then videos 2, 3, and 4. What we're doing is taking this one idea and making 4 separate videos on it, but we can do this in easy mode or hard mode. So for easy mode, you would take this video idea, 3 things I wish I knew, and you would use the exact same script 4 times, but in different formats. So video 1 would be 3 things I wish I knew, but with a sound. Video 2 would be 3 things I wish I knew, but with a photo. Video 3 would be a voiceover, and video 4 would be talking. So we're using the exact same script, but a different format. No, this is not repetitive because you reach hundreds of new people, strangers, every time you post. This is actually strategic. But the hard mode, which is how most people are successful, is when you actually break up this idea right here into multiple videos. So video 1 would be 1 thing you wish you knew. Video 2 would be the 2nd thing you wish you knew. And video 3 would be the 3rd thing you wish you knew. And then video 4, we would do all 3 things together. So the 3 things that you wish you knew. I'm going to give you a quick warning on how people have used this to get hundreds of thousands of followers in a second. But first I want to show you the process I use. So I'll go to my viral hook generator and then I'll generate a hook for each of the videos. So let's say for the first one, I want to boost my views. I'll generate a hook for that. Maybe for video 2, I'll want to grow my following instead or make a sale. So after I generate that, I'll copy it, go to my template, and I'll click on these buttons and generate a script for each of the ideas we just came up with and paste the hook in there. Then I'll repeat that with all these and move it through the calendar till I'm ready to post it. This is my TikTok content template and hook generator, by the way. About 18,000 people use it now. But anyway, the way that you build hundreds of thousands of followers isn't by doing this long term. You do this for 15 to 30 days until you find your idea that works best. And then you replicate that idea over and over again as your signature series. And then you start linking your products or service to this. And that's when you can build an insane empire from this. But it starts here by testing all these different ideas, all these different formats. I'd recommend you start small and just do this once, and then go more and more and more as you get comfortable. The first of every month is one of the most crucial times to launch a new TikTok account or revive one that's been in the 200 trenches. So if I were you, here's what I would start preparing today to make December your biggest month on here ever. First, before anything else, your first of the month post. Try one of these 2 sounds that I'm going to put here. Then trim your video down to 7 seconds exactly. It's quote unquote the magic number. And then type out a big blurb or a couple bullets of text. This would ideally be relevant to the holidays, December, or New Year's, but it could also just be a general introduction to your account. Post this after 9 p.m. on November 30th, or as soon as possible on the 1st. This type of video can reach hundreds of thousands of people fast. Make sure it supports your long-term goals. I'm going to put some hooks and prompts for these in my free December growth guide. Second priority is to make your introduction post. You might not know this, but every video you make on TikTok should be reaching around 200 people minimum. If you're consistently under that, then something's probably wrong. But a majority of these people are strangers who don't even know who you are. So the first of the month is the perfect time to reintroduce yourself, your mission, your goals, who you are, so you could become someone's go-to creator for the rest of 2025. You wouldn't expect it, but I've seen these hit 11 million views from someone who was at 200 views the day before. And then finally, plan your urgent or time-sensitive video. This is a video or a series that's specific to the end of 2025 or December. The simplest and most effective way to do this is to mention a specific date like this, but I'll leave you some more popular hooks right here. I'm going to upload the December growth guide right after I post this.
The very moment you get a viral video on TikTok, you're going to want to do these 3 things. And this applies to mini viral videos too. So you get your first 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 views. This doesn't have to be millions and millions of views. This is how you turn that mini viral video into something that actually serves you long term, so you don't just wind up back at 200 views the next day. Go to the analytics on that video and find out your main age demographic. Once you have that information, move on to number 2, which is calling out that audience in another video. So if your top range was 25 to 34, then you're going to want to use all different age markers in your next video. For example, 5 things I wish I knew in my 20s, 5 financial milestones you should hit before 30. This tactic alone can snowball your initial viral video into 5, 10, 20 more. The best place to do this